Everybody knows what it takes to be at this level, and I think the ability to kind of score the ball and put the ball in the hole is one of my things. But I'm just not making it. And
imagine dedicating your entire life to something, pouring in the time, effort, sweat, and sacrifice, only feel like it's never quite enough. That's the reality for Kelsey Mitchell. Drafted second overall, she entered the league with high hopes, yet the journey was anything but smooth.
My dog, my teammate. I'm super hyped to have my girl here. Two-time WNBA All-Star, Kelsey Mitchell. What's good?
Kelsey Mitchell is a scoring machine, averaging over 16 points per game for 6 consecutive seasons. But despite her incredible talent, her team continued to struggle. Season after season, the losses piled up. She endured 7 seasons for different head coaches and not a single playoff appearance. Recognition was scarce, and respect was hard to come by. Then, everything changed. Caitlin Clark arrived in Indiana, the most anticipated player in WNBA history. Suddenly, the Fever were selling out arenas. Cameras were everywhere. The basketball world had turned its attention to Indiana. But where did that leave Kelsey Mitchell? Would she finally get the help she needed to win? Or would she be overshadowed by Clark's arrival? And just as things seemed to turn around, tragedy struck. Mitchell lost her father, her greatest supporter. Overwhelmed with grief, she questioned everything. Was continuing play even worth it? But in her darkest hour, something unexpected happened. Her teammates, including Caitlin Clark, rallied around her. With their support, she played the best basketball of her career, earning back-to-back All-Star appearances and leading the Fever to the playoffs for the first time. So, what really happened behind the scenes? How did Caitlin Clark's presence impact Mitchell's career? And why did Mitchell choose to stay in Indiana despite other opportunities? Let's break it all down. But first, take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By joining us, you'll stay up to date with the latest WNBA news, expert analysis, and major moves. Now, let's dive in.
tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, me, I'm a Midwestern girl, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. 5'3" kid. It's kind of tough to come out of where I come from.
Let's rewind and look at how Kelsey Mitchell got here. Her WNBA journey has been anything but easy. Hailing from Cincinnati, Ohio, she was a small-town girl with big dreams and an unstoppable love for the game. From an early age, she committed herself to countless hours in the gym, refining her shot and developing a relentless work ethic. That dedication paid off at Ohio State, where she didn't just play well, she shattered records. Mitchell became the second all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I women's basketball history. Game after game, season after season, she dominated, proving she was destined for greatness. Her deep three-pointers, lightning-fast first step, and ability to take over games made her one of the most dangerous offensive threats in college basketball. But despite her undeniable talent, her transition to the WNBA wasn't as seamless as expected.
We both been here for a number of years, right?
Yeah.
Y'all done been through the tough years. Well, you really got to grind it out.
What
tough
is
season.
What, you in 7 years here?
All 7.
For 7 years, Mitchell gave everything to the Indiana Fever through constant coaching changes. For different head coaches in 7 seasons and an ever-evolving roster, chemistry was nearly impossible to build. Yet, through it all, she remained insistent, averaging over 16 points per game and proving herself as one of the league's premier scorers. Still, despite her efforts, the team continued to struggle. Imagine frustration, putting in the work, showing up every night, and still walking off the court without a win.
I think Indy, those from year 1 through 3.5. Well, let me just say this. I went through my 7 years in Indy. I've had 4 head coaches.
Many players in her position would have asked for a trade, seeking an easier path or a team already primed for success. But not Mitchell. She chose to embrace the grind, staying loyal to the franchise that drafted her. Rather than chasing instant success, she committed herself to being a cornerstone of a rebuilding team. Such patience and dedication are rare in an era where players frequently switch teams in search of better opportunities. Then came 2023, the year that finally brought her some well-deserved recognition. Mitchell secured her first All-Star selection, a testament to her hard work. But despite that personal milestone, the Fever remained at the bottom of the league. Another losing season. Another year without playoffs. At that point, many wondered how much longer would she wait for things to turn around. Scoring 20 points a night, leading the team, carrying the offensive burden, yet still not seeing results in the win column. That was Mitchell's reality for years. But she refused to let the struggle define her. She kept showing up, leading by example, and believing that one day, all the hard work would pay off.
Basketball was just always a safe haven. I kind of took it from there, just, utilized what I knew about it. And that's how I knew what my lifestyle was.
Mitchell didn't just want individual success. She wanted to be part of a winning culture. She wanted to help build something meaningful in Indiana, to be a key figure in the franchise's resurgence. Walking away would have been easy. Staying and fighting was a harder choice, but she embraced it. And then, in 2024, everything changed. The Fever were about to draft a player who would alter not only the franchise's trajectory, but also Kelsey Mitchell's career. Enter Caitlin Clark.
It was unfortunate, and I just think the hand I was dealt was I trusted in the organization in different ways, from the management.
With Clark's arrival, Indiana Fever basketball transformed overnight. The most talked about player in the sport had joined the team, turning them into a national sensation. The Fever, once overlooked, became the team everyone wanted to watch. But how would this impact Mitchell? Would Clark's presence diminish her role? Instead, the opposite happened, with defenses fixated on Clark. Mitchell found herself with more opportunities than ever. She played her most efficient basketball yet, posting career-best shooting percentages. And for the first time in years, the Fever were winning. Clark's elite passing skills changed the team's offensive dynamic, making life easier for Mitchell, who thrived in the new system. Their chemistry was instant, forming one of the most exciting backcourt duos in the league. Off the court, Clark's arrival brought energy and a new wave of fans, turning Fever games into must-see events. Rather than being overwhelmed by the spotlight, Mitchell embraced it, delivering the best season of her career.
I didn't know what All-Star was going to look like for me. I never really put it on not necessarily, it wasn't a goal. I just knew I needed to train and do what I need to do to keep my name.
Just when everything was falling into place, Mitchell faced an unimaginable personal tragedy, losing her father. The pain was unbearable. For the first time, basketball didn't feel the same. Every dribble, every shot, every game felt different without him cheering from the stands. She questioned if she even wanted to continue. But in that moment of darkness, her teammates, especially Caitlin Clark, rallied around her, providing unwavering support. She leaned on therapy, faith, and the people who had always been in her corner. Slowly, she found her way back, using basketball to honor her father's memory. Fueled by that loss, she played with even more passion and determination. By season's end, she earned another All-Star selection and led the Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. After years of struggle, everything had finally come together. So what came next? Free agency loomed, and Mitchell had options. Other teams pursued her, teams that could offer a better shot at a championship. But instead, she made a bold choice. She stayed, signing a one-year Supermax deal. She committed to Indiana, believing in the franchise's vision and the team she had helped build. "Indiana is my second home," she said. To play alongside incredible teammates like Caitlin Clark, to see the fans embrace me. This is where I belong. The Fever's front office knew Mitchell's value, not just as a player, but as a leader. With a stronger roster, rising talent, and an entire city rallying behind them, Indiana was no longer a rebuilding team. They were contenders. Now, the question remains, can Mitchell and Clark lead the Fever to a championship? Let's find out.